Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Malika G. Kerber, and I have been a longtime Greenbelt resident. Currently, I am not. However, the issue that I am coming before you is very much a very important one to the city of Greenbelt and our surrounding areas. And this pertains to the Dora Kennedy French Immersion School, which is currently on, I would say, being in the position of being moved by the PGCPS to another location far from Greenbelt. Currently, it is housed in the old Greenbelt High School, a historic building. And the county proposes to move Dora Kennedy French Immersion out of that to Kenmoor, much further away, and then eventually tear down this building. And I'm coming to petition you all to stop this, to do the best that you can to not only prevent the students from being moved, but also keep the building from being torn down. As I said, this is a historic building to Greenbelt. And if we can't, this is a problem of maintenance, not because the structure is not sound. The building is sound. I've been inside of it. If any of you have ever been inside of it, you can tell that is a solidly built structure. It is well built and beautiful. And the only thing that is wrong with it is a lack of proper maintenance by the county. In terms of plumbing, in terms of HVAC, they have not done what they needed to do to upkeep and maintain this building. Our Capitol building over in DC is much older than this and better maintained. Otherwise, we'd be tearing that down too. As for the school itself, it brings families to this area. It is one of the main attractions for a lot of families that want to move here because it is a top-notch public elementary school. I want to repeat that this is a public school. It may be a specialized school, it may be a magnet school with a specialty in French immersion, but it is full of public school students who live in this area, in Greenbelt, in College Park, in Berwyn, in Laurel, this entire area. The majority of the students live here. They are also community members and they matter. And for the county to make this decision without input from families, from staff, because none of the faculty were also consulted, and many are wondering if they will stay with the school. In 2 years, this plan is meant to be implemented in 2 years, to move the students out, and then they would bring in another set of students for 2 years, and then after that, tear down the building. And this makes no sense. In January 10th meeting, I believe some of you were in that meeting with the county and proposed that the county poll families and poll the staff and let them know about this plan. The county didn't do this. In fact, many families found out about this only a few weeks ago through an article that was published in Greenbelt. And everyone was shocked because this was not announced. No one was questioned, no one was interviewed, no one found out how many families actually live in the area. They didn't seem to care. They just want to move the school out to an area that would make it impossible for many to attend. I'm already talking to parents who are planning to look for ways to move their kids out. And many will go to private schools in the area because they chose this school because of how good it is. It's a blue ribbon school and has gotten 5 stars. It is one of the schools that raises our test scores county-wide, statewide as well. So to make this kind of careless decision to me seems extremely foolhardy by PGCPS. And I think that at a local level and a state level, we need to do the best that we can to get PGCPS to turn back from what was, in their own words, a bad decision. You can find out more about this if you visit savedkfi.com. We also have a video there where during a recent meeting in February, there was a hot mic moment where PGCPS members admitted that this was a poorly thought out decision and that they actually don't have a legitimate reason to do this. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. What was that website again?
SaveDKFI.com.
It's all one word?
Yes, savedkfi.com, all one word, no spaces. And you'll find on there prior meetings, video, including the hot mic moment video, and lots of other information about the efforts being made so far by both the PTA and parents like myself, who are trying our best to draw attention to this. and get all of you and all of our surrounding cities and towns to get involved to keep the school where it is and to save the building.
Well, thank you. We were shocked on December the 10th to find out about this proposal. So we're working with our sister municipalities and working on our own. So thank you.
Thank you. We are all working, so let us know at DKFI what we can do, because we want to save the school. We want to keep our kids there. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, no, this is important for the administration and council, and there's a letter in the consent agenda requesting a review of the site for historical preservation.
We should pull that off so we can talk about it. Okay. Hey, that's going to bring us down to item number 19, which we took off the consent agenda. And that's a letter to request the County Historic Preservation Commission to designate the Dora Kennedy French Immersion School building as a county historic site. So staff recommends that council send a letter to the Prince George's County Historic Preservation Commission requesting it complete a historic site evaluation of the Dora Kennedy French Immersion School building. So this is an action that probably council should have undertaken a while back. When was that, Ms. Pope and Mr. Roberts, when we were talking about the possible
Like that. That's
15?
about-
Well, no, it was more
No,
like
I
10.
don't want to say 15 years ago, but I'm gonna say about 10 years ago for sure.
Yeah.
How long has Dora Kennedy been there now? How long have? Okay, then it was 10 years because it was before.
When they were building Greenbelt Middle School, when they were building it, the plan initially from the school board was that they were going to dispense with the middle school, and it's a part of our legacy. It's a part of our historic legacy. It's a part of our present, and it should be a part of our future. So by making this request to the Historic Preservation Commission, we can kind of formalize how the city feels about the school and the building, the original Greenbelt High School. Mr. Samaron, did you have any comments?
Sorry, no, I don't have anything to add. I think this is something you all have been following for a very long time, and given the news that broke here in this room about what's the plan for that future site, this is a good pragmatic next step to try to preserve that facility.
Ms. Pope?
I just wonder, so if we do that, right, and I see the reason, and I have nothing against that, but once that designation is made, right, and there are repairs to be done, and then they're very specific how you can do repairs on a historic building, who is paying for it? Who is in charge of providing the funds for repairs?
Well, I mean, the person who owns the building is responsible for it, so.
I'm not sure, but what this does is before anything can happen to it, it sort of gives us the right to weigh in. So this is like an additional layer of input that the city would have on the disposition of the building.
Well, it ensures that the building will not be demolished.
Right. And the school can choose to do, PGCPS, they could choose to maybe cede it back to the county or city. Who knows what will happen once it's under historic preservation, but as Mr. Samaron said, they will not be able to destroy it though. No matter what happens, that won't happen.
Mr. Roberts?
I think this is a good thing to do, no doubt about that. I mean, it's a great statement, but it's not going to keep them from tearing the building down. It's not. I mean, Greenbelt is a national historic landmark. It doesn't give us any protection. It sounds good, but it's not protecting any of our buildings or anything else. So, I support doing this, but let's not fool ourselves and think this is, the end of it. Even if we get this, doesn't mean they can't tear it down, because they can go in and say, oh, doesn't matter, And they tear down buildings in DC all the time that have this designation. And I'm sure you know that.
Yes,
So this is a good, like you said, it's a great first step, but let's carry it farther and make sure that the county council knows that they can't tear the building down, and they shouldn't be moving the school out of there because they have people relying on that school. And they admitted they did that they made the wrong decision and they need to change their decision.
Okay, well, let's get a motion. Would someone like to make this
I stand corrected on the historical designation. It's no guarantee that it ensures the building is preserved forever. But it is a step in that direction.
And I think it does give us another layer of input, the public and the city. So I'll go ahead and if no one else wants to make the motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I'll second your motion. Well, what is your motion?
I'm going to move that council send a letter to the Prince George's County Historic Preservation Commission requesting a complete historic site evaluation of the Dora Kennedy French Immersion School building.
Okay, and I'll second that. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion does carry. And so there's a meeting coming up with Dora Kennedy French Immersion School with the school board and parents. Do we have a date or a time on that by any chance?
They didn't have the date and time yet. They did email us and say that they wanted us to attend and they would follow up when they had that. They're still trying to work out the details. So.
Appreciate that.